All right. We are recording. And please excuse the darkness because it is 7:43 p.m. Eastern time, and we are at that time of year where it gets dark by 8 o'clock. But let's get on anyway. So what is good, everybody? It is the Godfather of Gaming, the ageless wonder, the VR King of the Crump Side, your boy Lincoln Clay coming back at you. We are going to talk about the Call of Duty Modern Warfare beta, and I did play it on. Hold on, let me get the wipers going here. Ooh, excuse me. I did play it on the Xbox One S, the PlayStation Pro, and PC. And I guess I want to talk about those three platforms on like three different categories. I want to talk about it. I want to talk about the graphics. I want to talk about the gameplay, and I want to talk about the crossplay. So I think the easiest one to get out of the way are the graphics. So we'll start with the Xbox One S. I don't think it looked good. For all this upscaling that the Xbox One S is supposedly able to do, the game still looked like it was in 720p. It had rough edges. The colors didn't look good. The HDR implementation made it look dark. And but there is a little bit of a catch. I will get around to that in a second. Next up was the PlayStation Pro. The PlayStation Pro looked sharp. It looked good. But it looks like HDR isn't active on there. I'd imagine that when a game comes out, it will support HDR, but it looked really, really good. And then we have the PC. It looked the best out of the three. Same deal though. It looked like HDR was not active. Nowhere in the settings could I find a way to turn on the HDR, and when I checked the display on my TV, it didn't show that HDR was active. Ooh, excuse me. So now, in all fairness, although the PlayStation Pro and the PC look much better than the Xbox One S, in all fairness, I do have to say that the PlayStation Pro, as well as my PC, is connected to my 65-inch Hisense H9 ULED TV that supports HDR10. But I mean, I guess that doesn't matter because HDR wasn't used in the PC or the Pro version. So that I got the PC and the Pro hooked up to a Hisense H9, and then in the bedroom I have the Xbox One S connected to a Hisense H6. And we're also dealing with, the PlayStation Pro has double the power, I believe, than the Xbox One S. And then the PC has more power than both of them. So one thing that was really odd was the menu screen where you have that soldier that's walking and like cautiously pointing his gun everywhere. That menu screen, I might be smoking crack, but there was a couple of times where the PlayStation Pro actually looked slightly sharper than the PC version, but it was so hard to tell. But once the game got started, once you're actually into the gameplay, the PC looked the best. It didn't look much better than the Pro, but it looked good enough that I could see it with the naked eye, because I wasn't doing any kind of side-by-side comparisons, because I was having to switch back and forth on the inputs. You know, I was having to switch back and forth between HDMI 1 and HDMI 2. And then as far as the Xbox goes, I was having to run back and forth into the bedroom because that's where that TV's at. Second here. So that's something to keep in mind. That I think even if I would have the Xbox One S hooked up to that H9, I don't know if it would have made that much of a difference because of how weak the Xbox One S is. So right there, the PC looked the best, but it wasn't a blowout, you know what I mean? But the Xbox One S did not look good. Next, we're going to move on to gameplay. And when we first, we played it on the Pro first. I downloaded it on the Pro first, then I downloaded it on the Xbox One S, then I downloaded it on PC. The Pro had the smallest file. The Pro had a file size of almost 28 gigs. The Xbox One S, even though it kind of looked like dog shit, had a file size of almost 38 gigs. And then the PC had a file size of 39 gigs. So, I don't know. Got me on that one. So, we played it on the Pro first. And when we fired it up, at first glance, it looked and felt like the same old Call of Duty. You know, but then it took a minute to train my eyes, and then I started noticing that, okay, that, you know, the Pro version actually looks pretty sharp. The game does look pretty good. I don't think I can say it's the best game that I've ever seen, but it does look good. And then the gameplay modes. You had Ground War, which I think is a copycat of Battlefield, where up to 64 players can play, you know, and then you're trying to capture objectives. Even if it is a copycat mode of Battlefield, I still like it. You know, and I was able to do my normal thing and grab a sniper rifle and try to pick people off from the outside rather than dive into the action. And also in Ground War, there's vehicles, there's tanks. I've seen helicopters in there, but I don't, you know, but I didn't get inside a helicopter or fly one or anything, so I don't know about that part. I just know that they're in there. That there is vehicles in Ground War. So I do like that mode, even if I feel like it's kind of copying off of Battlefield, but I do like that mode. Also with the gameplay, for the most part, it does feel like Call of Duty, but it looks like it feels like it was slowed down slightly. I mean, other Call of Duty games in the past seemed like they had a faster pace than this one. It's still a fast-paced game, it just doesn't seem like it's as fast as past Call of Duty games, which is fine with me because, truth be told, I prefer slow tactical games like Rainbow Six. You know, games where if you die, you're not coming back until the next round. So you got to be careful about how you approach. But they do have a mode on there where if you get killed, I think the clock runs. I think whatever amount of time is left in that round, that's how much time your teammates have to revive you. So I think each team starts out with 6 people. And I think the round ends if all players are eliminated on one team, or the bomb is planted and the bomb goes off. So I kind of like that mode. I think you had your search and destroy, capture the flag type, which I did like that.
So search and destroy was the bomb mode.
The bomb mode, okay. So I have my son in here with me. I'm taking him home. And a quick thing that I want to slip in is the performance on the PC. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the frame rate is on the consoles. I'm under the impression that the frame rate's probably going to be 30 frames per second on consoles. I don't know. But on PC, I had the frame rates set to unlimited, and I expected to only get 60 frames at the most because my TV is 60 hertz. But to my surprise, my son was playing it, and I seen him get as high as 74 frames in 4K. So that was surprising because I thought with my TV being 60 hertz, it wouldn't let the PC go over 60 frames. Because that's the case with other games that I have on PC.
There was also a time where I got 700.
Yeah, that was, I don't know if that was a glitch or what, but I almost don't even want to mention it. I saw something during a loading screen. It was like 700 frames, which unless that was supposed to be like 77.5 or something, I don't know. But that's not even worth mentioning. But I do know, I can say for certain that we did get 74 frames out of 4K. Now, the frame rate was going up and down on PC. Well, this is another thing I don't understand. We had the resolution at 1944, and frame rates, we were getting anywhere. The frame rates were dropping as low as 30, but was going as high as 58. When we turned it up to 4K, we were getting frame rates as low as 47 frames, but as high as 74. So that was crazy. You would think with a higher resolution you would get lower frame rates, but it is what it is. Boy, it's dark in here. It's dark. Let me turn on a little bit of light for a second. Well, I can still see, so I guess I'll leave the light on for a minute. Because it's not completely dark yet, so I can still see the road. So now, the last part. I wanted to save this part for last. And that is crossplay. Crossplay is enabled on this beta, but it's weird. So, ooh, excuse me, good God. So on the Xbox, there was Xbox people in there, and there was PC people in there. No PlayStation. Then we went over to the Pro, and we saw PlayStation people in there, PC people in there, but no Xbox people in there. Then when we went over to the PC, there was everybody in there. There was like Xbox, PlayStation, and PC all in the same lobby. So that's weird. but you can only see whatever platform they're on. You could only see it in the lobby when the match is about to start. Once the match is underway, that's it. You don't see what platform they're on. So, and yes, there was some toxicity in there. When I did let my son stream it a little while ago on Twitch, and yes, he was on the PC at the time that we streamed it, and there was a lot of foul language in there, a lot of nasty stuff being said. Now, as far as that crossplay goes, again, I don't know why the Xbox or the PlayStation didn't have players from the opposite platform in the lobbies, but yet the PC had all three platforms in the lobby. I don't get it. Unless that's a situation where, PlayStation is saying, okay, we'll do crossplay, but we don't want our user base playing with the Xbox user base. You can play with PC, but no, we don't want them playing with Xbox. I don't know if that's the case or not. But whatever it is, I'd imagine it'll all get sorted out once the game is out. But make no mistake, I do believe that once the game is out, they're probably going to post stats. I talked about this before a long time ago, because I certainly thought it would happen with Fortnite when they did the crossplay on Fortnite. I thought for certain that Epic would put stats up there to show what platform was winning the most matches, and that would further ignite the console war. And not only that, it would keep both platforms involved, because of the bitterness between Xbox and ponies. So I think that's definitely going to happen here, because I think games like Call of Duty is one of the areas where the toxicity is really high between Xbox and ponies. And maybe even games like Madden, because those are two games where they claim that, if I could hook my PlayStation up on the Xbox, I'd kick your butt, and vice versa. Now, I will say this. When my son played the game on PC and he got up to 74 frames, if he's getting 74 frames a second, and then the Xbox and the PlayStation people that were in there with him, if they're only getting 30 frames per second, it's going to be a massacre. PC people are going to murder them. And I don't know how that's going to go, because I'm not a big fan of crossplay to begin with, except in VR, because VR, I think, hasn't grown enough yet to keep the community separate. And plus, it's not toxicity there either. But still, the PC people are I think the PC people are gonna murder the console people. The only chance I see the console people giving them any kind of chance in the world is if they can get 60 frames, because they with these beefy PCs, they're gonna have a higher frame rate, and then if they choose to use a mouse and keyboard, that might give them another advantage as well. So we'll see what happens there. All in all, it still felt like a lot like Call of Duty. But like I said, it felt, like it was slightly slower than past Call of Duty games. And again, you know, the graphics, especially on PC, the graphics looked really good. I can't say whether the graphics on PC look better than Gears 5 on PC, because I will admit the Gears 5 did look good on PC, but it also looked like dog crap on the Xbox One S. So yeah, getting back to the Xbox One X, that Call of Duty beta, for all the upscaling that it's supposed to be able to do. Not just Call of Duty, just about any game. For all the upscaling that the Xbox One S is supposed to do, a lot of these games still look like they're 720p on the Xbox One S. A lot of those games just don't look good. I think the Xbox One S might be the biggest robbery in console history. Because the visuals don't even come close to the Pro or the Xbox One X. And then any game, from what I'm seeing, any game that runs bad on the Xbox One X runs worse on the Xbox One S. And mainly speaking of PUBG being one of them, because I think frame rates on the Xbox One X dropped as low as, I want to say, like 17 frames, and I think they dropped as low as like 15 or something on the S. I can't really remember, but I know neither of them was good. But excuse me. So I will say, based on that beta, if you're a person that likes Call of Duty, I don't think you'll be disappointed with it. In my case, maybe because I played so many first-person shooter games in VR, maybe it was actually a welcome change of pace to get on Call of Duty and play the game with it slightly slowed down, a hair. So that's all I got. I wouldn't. Not a bad game, but I didn't feel like the game didn't feel like anything that was groundbreaking. So, but it wasn't a bad game either. I still, I would probably still feel like it might be a little bit better than some of that same old rinse and repeat stuff that they've been doing in the past. But all in all, not bad. I don't know. I probably say, based on I'm gonna judge that beta, and I'm not in just the beta alone. I'm not gonna use that. So don't take this as me judging the full game when it comes out. I'm just judging the beta based on what I saw, based on what I played. I give the Call of Duty beta a 7.5. What about you? What do you give it?
An 8.
Okay.
Or actually a 9.
A 9? Why do you give it a 9?
Well, I kind of actually enjoyed it.
Okay. But if you enjoy it, that's all that matters. So that's gonna do it, folks. Just to give you my little tidbits on the Call of Duty Modern Warfare beta. I don't know when this game is going to come out. Myself, I have no plans to buy this game. I don't think it's a bad game, but I don't have any plans to buy it. Now, one thing I almost forgot to mention. That I do think this is going to be a fun game for a lot of people. But the question is will Activision ruin it with their egregious and predatory microtransactions? So, we'll see. Anyway, now I can say that I'm done. That's gonna do it for me. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, share, all that good stuff. If any of you guys have played the beta, let me know what you think in the comments. What you give the game on a scale of 1 to 10, and why you give it, and why you're giving it that number. So all right, folks, that's it. From me and my son. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, share, all that good stuff. We'll catch you guys later. Deuces.